Welcome to today's MI Monday. Our last MI tip focused on growing your simple reflections into more complex ones. I'm sure I've already mentioned several times that MI is reflection heavy. When you're listening to a highly skilled MI provider, you'll hear upwards of 3 to 4 times as many reflections as questions. What I forgot to delve into is why? Why is MI so reflection heavy? Reflections rule over questions in motivational interviewing. And there are 3 reasons that I want to cover today: empathy, cultivating change talk, and partnership. For starters, reflections are the way that we demonstrate empathy in MI. This is even more true in phone-based conversations where the only input you can offer back are your words and your tone of voice. Offering a reflection is the only way that we're able to truly demonstrate our understanding of where the person we're coaching is coming from, what they're thinking and feeling and hoping for. Imagine a scenario where your client shares the following: I've just got to quit smoking. I need heart surgery and I've got to be quit for that. I'm super anxious about it though, because I've had terrible withdrawals and cravings when I've tried before. One possible response would be a question. Well, have you ever tried using medications to help with withdrawals? Another response could come in the form of a reflection. You know how hard this can be. And so you want to set yourself up for success this time because it's going to be such a relief to be on the other side of that surgery. Notice how in the first response, there is zero acknowledgement of the person's thoughts, feelings, or desires. The point of focus is not the person, it's the outcome. No empathy here. But in the second response, the reflection captures how the person is feeling. The outcome is embedded in there, quitting smoking, but the person's reality is also included, their fear, but also the hope and desire. In the previous example, you may have also noticed that the reflection highlighted the change talk that the client shared. Highlighting, or as we say in MI, cultivating change talk is everything. Why? Because the more a person is able to articulate for themselves their reasons for wanting to change, the more likely they are to actually turn those words into actions. We all know that actions speak louder than words. However, the evidence does show that a decrease in sustained talk and an increase in change talk leads to better outcomes. So we as MI providers use reflections as a means of cultivating change talk. And I just happen to love this word, cultivate. I grew up speaking French, and one of my favorite quotes is Voltaire's, Il faut cultiver notre jardin. We must cultivate our garden. What does it mean to cultivate the garden? It's getting rid of the weeds. It's optimizing the soil so that water and nutrients could get to the roots of the plants we want to grow. Now, in the context of Voltaire's Candide, cultivating our garden can refer back to what is truly within the locus of our control. What we choose to believe and the attitudes we embrace will shape the lives that we lead, in the same way that the plants we choose to water and tend to will be the ones that grow. And that is why we reflect back change talk, because we want to empower our clients to tend to those parts of themselves that believe in the possibility of change coming from within. And the more we reflect that back, the more likely they are to continue along with that path in the conversation, thereby growing their own change talk. Yay! So let's bring that back down to earth. Here is the client's statement again. This time the change talk is highlighted in yellow. The sustained talk is highlighted in red. I've just got to quit smoking. I need heart surgery and I've got to be quit for that. I'm super anxious about it though, because I've had terrible withdrawals and cravings when I've tried before. So you respond with this reflection. You know how hard this can be. And so you want to set yourself up for success this time because it's going to be such a relief to be on the other side of that surgery. Now, how do you think the client is most likely to respond here? The hope is that they're going to share even more reasons for wanting to quit or how much they're looking forward to being done with surgery. Essentially, more change talk. Now, what if you'd asked a question? Have you ever used medications to help with withdrawals? What do you think you would get back? Either a one-word answer or a lot of sustained talk about how it didn't work for them. Not what we're looking for in motivational interviewing. So I don't want to imply that all questions have the effect of a police-like interrogation, but I did put this picture in for a bit of a dramatic effect and to emphasize that many times questions are stressful for people. It puts them on the spot, which brings me to the next point of partnership. Traditionally, in the healing professions, there is an expert asking questions and assessing. When you listen to these types of sessions, the style is much less conversational and much more formal sounding, where the health provider is sort of sitting on high, essentially judging, diagnosing, and giving advice. Motivational interviewing levels the playing field. Partnership, acceptance, compassion, and empowerment make up the spirit of MI, and I'll be offering up some tips on each of these in the future. Within partnership is the idea of working with the person that we're coaching as a helper, not a boss. We're probably going to ask at least one, preferably open-ended question to initiate the conversation. Although it's technically possible to avoid this, you're here today to get some support with making healthy lifestyle changes versus what brings you to this appointment today? Using more reflections as opposed to questions makes the conversation feel more even keel as opposed to an interrogation. So our goal is to put our clients at ease, drop their defenses, and free up the creative parts of their brain. If we're peppering them with a bunch of questions, it's just not very conducive to that. So this week's challenge, if you choose to take this challenge on, partner up with someone and have a short coaching conversation using only reflections. See how far you can get with only reflections. You may use one great open-ended question to launch the conversation if you'd like. So if you do decide to take this challenge on, please share in our chat how it worked out, how it felt for you. And we look forward to seeing you next time.